And welcome back to our dedicated viewers. This is now part two of our season finale of football with the Rabbi and Mayer. Welcome back, Ben. It's been a couple of minutes since I seen you last year. Looking great. How you doing?
Doing good. Just like all the great franchises, like Harry Potter and Twilight and all those, we've decided to split our finale into a two-parter as well to keep in line with all those. Except for ours, you only had to wait, a few minutes. So there's that. But otherwise, doing great and then ready now for part two.
I will say, I think it was a really nice service that we did for our viewership. I know for me, it's hard, when, it's like the end of the OC, for example, was my favorite show as a kid. And like that second to last episode before the finale, like that week, sometimes I feel like they made it 2 weeks. It felt like an eternity just waiting for the finale. And we didn't want to make our viewers go through that. So that's why it's just a short little 10-minute little break. And now we're back on with the season finale. So welcome all of you back here. So good to see you. We have an awesome kind of lineup here at the end. And yeah, without further ado, let us recall back to the show.
Yeah.
Our first ever returnees to the show. A man who he battled valiantly last week in a epic back and forth matchup. Thought he had it at point. Here he is, Dove Cohen. Welcome back, Dove.
Thank you.
Sorry it didn't work out for you. How
No,
you
it's
doing?
okay. I'm doing all right. I mean, I kind of expected it a little bit with how my team was playing for the past like couple weeks. So I'm not too upset. And then I do have to say it was nice to see like the back and forth battle, and then just Monday night game, his wide receiver just pulled ahead by a lot. So I mean, there's only so much I can do, but it was actually very entertaining. Like Sunday, so I can't really complain.
And I was gonna ask you then, Ben. Feel free to chime in with any questions. How did you feel going into Monday night? You had your kicker, the Buffalo kicker, has been pretty solid. You're going against Stefon Diggs. Like I know for me, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but after what Diggs did to the Broncos the previous week, I was not. I'll be honest. I was not feeling good about your chances going into that Monday night. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, no, I was up by like 4 points, I believe, and I was like, well, I don't I don't really know how Buffalo feels about like getting to the playoffs, if they're trying to shoot for first place, if they're trying to shoot for a bye week, like how are they going to play with the starters? So I thought that maybe just possibly Stephon Diggs would have a little bit less like play time, just to like conserve him for the playoffs, but I was mistaken.
Just in case it's not clear for those listening, we're talking about the epic finale Cholent Bowl Super Bowl matchup between UW and Brandon, and it was a very entertaining matchup just to watch it as a fan. I mean, it was. I mean, for all the marbles, it was a very close matchup, and it kept going sort of like, if I recall, like back and forth a little bit. At times it said you
Yeah.
were favored, at times Brandon, and I was kind of going back and forth, like as if it were like lead changes in a real game. And then it was just incredible. Like we thought it was going to come down to the Sunday night Packers Titans game, and then that didn't decide it.
That
It
didn't
was
do
it
Aaron
was
anything.
Jones versus Derrick Henry. You guys were neck and neck. I thought one of those guys would go off like they usually do, and
Yeah.
that would be the winner. But alas, both of them came up, I don't know, 9 points each, give or take, and it came down to the kicker versus Diggs, and Diggs had
Well,
that. Yeah.
I don't know
I,
if you guys watched that game, but actually AJ Dillon for the Green Bay Packers, he got like 20 odd something points because he was running the entire game. Aaron Jones was on the sideline majority of the game. So I just missed out on the Tennessee defense really couldn't stop the run game, so I kind of got shorted there a little bit. And then AJ Brown is obviously the number one receiver for Tennessee. Didn't really do anything either. So it's just you take what you can get.
right,
Man.
and then it goes down. It comes down to the Monday night game, and then at halftime of the Monday night game, it's still neck and neck. It's still
It
It's
is.
still incredible. And that's kind of nuts that the whole matchup came down to just the second half of the Monday
second
night
half.
game.
Where Stephon Diggs got like 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Right, yeah, and yeah, prior to this year, I mean, he was on the Vikings, right? So I mean, it's nuts what it'll come down to. I remember one time, like I won a championship in a different league about maybe 5 years ago, and it came down to Michael Crabtree catching like one last second touchdown in that, and that was the difference in the title matchup.
Wow.
I don't know if we recognize that championship in this league, do we? That was different. Differently.
No, it's as if it never happened. Yeah.
No, right. Of course. So,
Well,
but yeah, it's nuts how it comes down to.
so, yeah, I mean, so overall, how are you feeling? Like you had the league. I mean, you were number one most of the year. Like you said, you were kind of expecting. I mean, does that take away from the sting, knowing that you were number one, like basically all year we're all looking up to you? Does that
Yeah.
take away from the sorrow?
Not really. I mean, I didn't take too much of his thing because I do have to say I went majority of the year without my first round draft pick. So that means my first legit pick that actually did anything was 30 something picks later. So to me, it was an accomplishment to have been first place the entire year without my first round draft pick. So I don't really. It's honestly every game that I won and me being first place the entire time was a big deal to me because I obviously didn't have my first round draft pick. So I feel accomplished, and I also had really good success when it came to picking up players on the waiver. So I'm more just impressed with my choices I made to compensate for the loss of my first round draft pick, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that you're like in first place for practically the whole season until up until this finale, and you were doing it without your first round pick, which is I mean that's pretty unbelievable to do without a first round pick. I basically forfeited I picked a backup running back for my fourth round picks. I sort of I totally missed on my third and fourth round picks, but that's missing on your first round pick. It's not even you missed, it's just injury, and that's even more remarkable.
And I do have to say, I mean, I did lose to Brandon, who was second place. He also was 11-3. So me being in first place or second place, I did lose to a really good managed team. So I can't really be upset about that.
That's very nice. Yeah, and I wanted to bring Brandon on so you could see face to face. Looks like I'm frozen, but yeah, you can see each other face to face. It was a great matchup, the 1 versus 2. A lot of mutual respect. I brought you guys on last week hoping you'd kind of it'd be like a pre-boxing matchup, and you would battle it out. And I'm sorry, I can't. I'm just scratching my beard here. My camera's messed up. But you hear my voice, right?
Yeah.
It's just super creepy. I'm just like, okay. Anyway.
Live TV, everyone.
Okay, I'm still doing it. Still doing it.
Are you doing it on purpose though, just for effect now?
No, I'm literally my hands are in the air. It's just it's like a minute and a half behind. But the main thing is you hear my voice, so that's the good news.
I think you're back. Almost.
I'm back, kind of. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, so I did want to we wanted to give you our congratulations, Dove. You're a great sport, great role model for the league. Number one all season. Good, great moves all around. Did I lose you guys?
I appreciate it.
No, we hear you, Dove. Great job.
Thank you.
Not so hard fought at the end, but the whole season was good. It almost was.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I mean, your second half of this season was very impressive because I remember I would think it was 200 points for myself, and then everyone else was, like I said, 200 points behind, and then you were maybe 10 points. You had some really high scoring weeks the last few weeks, so very, very impressive. So good jobs to you for that.
Well, thank you. You without your number one pick, that was impressive enough.
I appreciate it.
Next year it'll be better.
Yeah, I'm hoping I could play next year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on an amazing season. Yeah.
You gotta come back.
And
Yeah.
I think you're almost back, Danny.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know how to. I'm trying to take myself off the screen. I can't even do that. So just ignore me for now. But
It's like you're in a time vortex or something.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, on another one of these, like my internet, like cut out in the middle, so that was interesting. So, I think you're.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyways, no, thank you for that, though. So yeah, Dove. The truth is, you're excused. I can't even take you off the screen because I'm so frozen. But you're welcome to dip out, catch. Thank you, and we'll turn over now to Brandon, to the champion. Dove, thank you again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Dove. All right. Wow.
All right.
Danny, you're back? Oh, you're sort of back, Danny.
It's just
I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I hear your voices, but I just see still faces, and I still see Dove with us. But the good news is I am tuning in from my iPad also. Well, you can't. I don't know if you can see this, but I can kind of see what's happening on my iPad. So
yeah. so Brandon, congratulations.
Thank you. This is a big deal. It was a tough year, but you know what? What a great year. This just wraps it all up. Nothing else matters. It was just a great year. When you win. When you win like this.
It makes 2020, doesn't it? It makes it a great year, especially
right. When you finish with a winning record, it's every week you win a fantasy football matchup. It's like nothing else matters. No other, it could be, who knows what was going on with the election. It didn't matter. I was watching. I was checking that waiver wire.
Exactly. I mean, that's why it's so challenging, for Danny there, taking ones for the league, bringing up the rear. It was definitely challenging, and you lose 10 and 11 times over the course of the season. It changes you. It's a new.
Brandon, yeah, as great as that felt, winning week in and week out like you did, that's like how bad it felt, So for us, we had, the turmoil of 2020, and like we didn't even have the bliss of fantasy victory to lift us up.
I'm sorry you didn't get to taste it.
So, yeah, I mean, we're leaving this year behind us, in a couple hours.
This chart rates you on how you achieved. It looks like you are a slacker. You're in the slacker category, Rabbi. It had you predicted to do well, and you fell to the bottom here. In this, I don't know if you can see this. It has a projection of your final standings, and it shows where you fall.
Oh yeah.
Dad in the background making a trash bag.
Oh, is that the recap? Is that the final grade recap?
The final recap. It tells you your whole story. We have artichoke. Sorry about that.
That's good.
Recap, I just wanted to point out my final grade was a B+ after being projected at a C+ season for my draft.
Oh, looks like mine is a D as in, I got a D as in dog. Looks like, so it's still technically passed. But Brandon, you are now the possessor of that sweet championship glory. How does that feel to be the possessor of that?
Well, I thought I was watching it slip away. I thought his kicker on Monday night was going to outperform the league leading receiver in the most receptions, right? And I'm like, first half coming to an end, Stephon Diggs is just doing nothing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, come on! They throw to him 15 times a game, and he had like 3 points. I'm going to lose to the kicker, and then that changed very quickly, and that felt pretty good.
Were you like watching the games unfold on Sunday and or Monday night?
Just continuously checking and refreshing what's going on. Are they throwing to him? I was watching the game, but it was hard to follow the stats because the first half was brutal. I'm like, this isn't good. And then he caught his first touchdown and then his second touchdown. I'm like, okay, great. And then I'm like, all right, this is good. And then he catches the third, which is just the icing on the cake, or the, I guess, what do you top a bowl of cholent with? The salt and pepper on the cholent bowl?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what it was right there.
Wow.
Wow. So you were following along pretty much live as it was.
Sunday was brutal, though. Sunday was brutal for both me and Dove. We're just watching everyone else in the league kill it. Everyone else in all the other matchups, I would have lost to everyone except for one other person if I was playing anyone else this week. So I'm watching all this happen. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen on Monday night. It comes down to like one guy who's my 5th round draft pick, Stephon Diggs, who's scored 6 touchdowns all season, and then he scores 3 in a game and becomes one of the leaders.
Right. It's like Avrami having Alvin Kamara, right? Who 6 touchdowns, like who he's going to win that matchup, that when you have somebody scoring 6 touchdowns for you, So,
right. Then I'm worried that every time Stephon Diggs scores, so does his kicker.
Right. That's true. It takes away like 1/6. Well, no. Well, if you don't count the yards.
Right.
Well, Brandon, you've won. You've won the title. You've run the right. Now, for all our many viewers, it is time for you to claim your rightful spot. The floor is yours for your Cholent Bowl champion acceptance speech.
Well,
the floor is yours.
Worked on it a little bit, but it was a brutal season and a brutal year for most people, except for myself. And I'm calling it a major evolutionary event, a race to the survival of the fittest. We had Christian McCaffrey injured and other major injuries. Julio Jones, my 2nd round overall pick, injured. We had a shortened preseason or warm up, and then no preseason. Weird bye weeks, a weird season. So it's a true test of the ultimate team manager, and that was me. So I'm thrilled that my team stayed healthy and that I was able to work that waiver wire. I had 4 different kickers, and kickers really do win championships. He was my lead scorer on like 5 different weeks. So I got to give a special shout out to Mr. Koo from the Falcons, Stephon Diggs, who dug deep all season and pushed through it. And those touchdowns were just about to come. They came right at the right time. Derrick Henry, thank you very much for your just extreme toughness and 250 yards a game quite a few times. And to everybody else who fell victim to this mass extinction and this evolutionary event of 2020, I'm very sorry to both of you guys. And next year will be a little bit more normal. And we'll see again as I emerge victorious this season. It's only going to make me stronger for the next season and onward. So thank you for setting this up. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I just have one question. Do you think because of the extraordinary nature of this season and the strange nature that you alluded to, should we notate this season champion with an asterisk? Because it was such an off season. Like, should we put a little asterisk by your name?
In fact, I would say the opposite. Look, I mean, mammals took over after the extinction of the dinosaurs because they were the strongest. They survived, right? I think that's what we're looking at here.
Okay.
It was the ultimate management, the ultimate test that fantasy football could have.
Okay, I respect it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you've I guess now we have to get to you a Cholent Bowl as the Cholent Bowl champion. But as you know, the real prize, you're probably wondering what the real prize is, but as you saw you watched part 1 of our finale today. Is that right?
I did, yes.
So you're probably wondering, as your prize for winning the Chillin' Bowl championship, are we going to sing to you as a ridiculous song as if you had just won a beauty pageant, the way the MC sings one to a winner of that? And the answer would be yes. And here is our prize for you, the greatest part.
I was really hoping for a serenade, like a Frank Sinatra style serenade.
Oh, are you in luck?
Oh,
Because oh, Brandon, you're a champion. All your dreams are coming true. You're a champion. Look in the mirror. Yes, it's you.
You're a champion. There's nothing left in life to do. You're a champion. Not just fantasy, but real life too. Exclaim yeehaw. It's like you got smicha.
Fantasy, Rabbi. You've achieved your boldest goal. You've won the Cholent Bowl. You're a champion. Do you know just what this means? It's like you did a mitzvah.
Not just one, but all 613.
Yes.
Champion. The light you shine is oh so bright.
You're a champion. You're already inscribed in next year's Book of Life.
Think as you ride your red eye. You're a fantasy Jedi.
And as you arrive in Israel, they will know full well you're the champion.
Champion.
Yes, in the promised land. Let them understand. Here is the champion.
wow. Oh my gosh, you're leaving me speechless, guys.
You deserved it.
That is the true prize of winning the Cholent Bowl. And
right in next year's Book of Life. That's the ultimate.
Already, we checked. It's already in there ahead of time. So
it's God's years.
You're good. Next high holidays, you're already good to go. So.
Not just that, they say there are certain mitzvahs that if you do, it's like you're set for the world to come. They say if you make a shidduch between people, you connect two souls, you connect them together. You do this 3 times, automatic pass to the world to come.
Wow.
I believe winning our Jew Pro Championship as well, the Cholent Bowl, is in that category.
Does it have to happen 3 times, or this is so big it happens only once?
It's so momentous. It's like that's it, just once. It's a free ride. So,
wow.
It's a big deal.
And like we said, it's like the equivalent of having done all 613 mitzvahs. So it's
very special, very, very special. Yeah. So Mazel Tov, well done. You put up a great fight. We were all admiring you from behind all year, except Dove. He was admiring you from in front. But you had a great effort. As Dove himself said, he was happy to have to lose to you. It's such a great managed team, great squad, and you really showed us how it's done. So beautiful job, well done.
The secret is in the bullet and down to the voting box, the polling box. You're not voting. Checking the fantasy is more important. I voted for myself winning the league.
You didn't bother with these elections. Like you were dialed in, right? It's like
right.
Whatever happens in the election, like whatever.
It takes that kind of focus to win something so important. Some say that the election is important too, but
this had more. Yeah, this had a lot to do with your real life. Your daily life. Like this had a lot. And thank you, Lee. We appreciate that going on tour. We do appreciate that. Yeah. We're thinking about it.
Yes, thank you, Lee.
You guys are excellent. Thank you. It's an honor to be part of this great show.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah,
happy.
Yeah, congratulations. It's been so great having you in the league. Not when we're matched up together, of course. I think being the combined 0-8, but yeah, it's so great. So congratulations on both to you and Dove and everyone just on an amazing season.
Thank you, Brandon. Happy secular New Year. You should enjoy your time in Disney World. I know where you're celebrating, and then on to the Holy Land.
It's off to both. Off to Disney and then off to Jerusalem.
Beautiful. Mazel tov. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's time to bring it on home now with the final Rabbi wisdom of the season.
Thank you. Yes. I was thinking about the year 2020 felt a lot like my fantasy season, just kind of like a down year, just like a tough year for my fantasy team, for humanity, just like overall a tough year. And I think, there's this idea that that our rabbis teach us that you fall down, you get back up. The righteous person falls 7 times, but he always rises after. So sometimes we as a people, we as humanity, we fall, we struggle, we underperform, but we can always pick it back up and plow forward. So here we are on the eve of 2021. It's been a down year for humanity, for our fantasy football teams, but sometimes you need these falls. I'm thinking, in our fantasy teams, to kind of wake us up and to jolt us and to get us onto the right path. So I think in life, sometimes we have these kind of down trends, these downward, not in the best spot, but sometimes that's necessary for the greatness that awaits us in the future. So, Ben, I'm pretty confident next year we will be, again, interviewing ourselves in the final episode, in the finale, because I think that we will learn from this experience and we will rise to the top where we rightfully belong. Brandon, maybe we'll let him interview us as one of the last place finishers next year. So, no, I'm just joking, Brandon. You're going to be right up there with us. But yeah, so that's kind of the rabbi wisdom. Sometimes you have an off year, but here we are, 2021 approaching us. You can pick it back up starting, in a couple hours. I'm already doing research on the draft for next year, trying to plan ahead. I'm scouting out, the college games, the playoff games, the data, the analysis starts right now. And we've got to learn from this lesson. We got to rise up higher than we were and use this as an opportunity for growth.
Amen to that. Yes. Second all of that. Yes. Next season starts now. And here we are on the precipice of 2021, celebrating having finished up a wonderful season and starting to get ready for the next season. And it's just been a joy doing this together with you. And so happy to have done this with you and made it to this point.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you next time. And to all of our fans out there, stay tuned for season 2 next year. A lot of exciting things planned coming your way. And I wish you a healthy and safe New Year and off season. And we'll see you next year.
See you next year. Happy New